Welcome to Frequency Matters, the RF and microwave update. I'm Pat Hindle and I'm here with my co-host Gary Lerude. As you can see, this is our annual beach edition as we move the studio out to Plum Island.
Yep, a nice breeze today, beautiful weather, blue skies, no clouds.
Yeah, a little cooler than last year, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, I look forward to this day, particularly in January and February.
In our previous episode, we looked at the July RF and microwave software and design issue, and we looked at the technical features. And the cover feature was about phased array design for 5G, electronic warfare, and satellite applications. So in this episode, I thought we'd take a look at the products. The MVP for July was National Instruments ANSYS software for antenna design and optimization. And this software is really cool. It's a kind of a different approach. It's a cloud-based system where you actually just input your specifications and it actually will recommend antenna designs and types. And then from there you can pick the best one for your application and optimize from there. So it kind of does a lot of legwork up front for you. And then our product feature was from Spectrum GmbH,
Right.
And they released the new digitizers on the PXIe platform for the first time. They have 6 new digitizers, and those digitizers feature a PCI Express Gen 2 interface and has up to 1.7 gigabits per second data exchange rate, so high performance digitizers. What do we have on the tech brief side?
So we had 3 tech briefs, one from Langer EMV, which is software for EMC analysis, and it allows you to capture spectrum analyzer measurements and then compare them very easily. So it's helpful as you're trying to do the EMC evaluation for a new product. Mentor Graphics has added 2 features to their PADS PCB software. One is called Hyperlinks DC Drop, and the other is Flowtherm XC Tools, or rather XT Tools, and they allow you to optimize the PC distribution on a PC board with the one tool and do a thermal analysis with the other tool, and it's all integrated into PADS, so you don't have to go to different software platforms. And then our third tech brief is a 225 to 450 megahertz coupler from Mini Circuits. It has the distinctive feature of being able to handle 200 watts of power. It's got 30 dB coupling with plus or minus 1 dB flatness and only about 0.15 dB loss in the main line. So those are our tech briefs.
Great.
How about news?
Yes, in the news there was huge developments in the area of 5G.
Right.
The FCC adopted new rules for spectrum above 24 gigahertz, making the US the first country to do that. They allocated 11 gigahertz of spectrum. 7 gigahertz of that is unlicensed spectrum in the area from 64 to 71 gigahertz,
Right.
and an additional 3.85 gigahertz of spectrum in the licensed area with 3 bands from 27.5 to 40 gigahertz. So that's kind of the upper microwave region and millimeter wave regions are both covered there. In addition to that, they also put a proposal out for comment for an additional 18 gigahertz of spectrum over 8 bands all the way up to E-band. So this really puts the U.S. a leap forward. If you had asked me 6 or 8 months ago where we were with 5G, I would say we were way behind the other countries, but this kind of leapfrogs us in front of everybody else with the regulatory agency allocating spectrum and all the trials that are going on with the domestic carriers. I really think we've progressed very rapidly.
Yeah, it allows people now a lot of spectrum to play in and see how things really work with the field trials.
Yeah, and they have the new proposal for even up to E-band, so
Right.
it's really good.
Yeah, there's a lot of development in that band technology-wise, so now they can actually field some things.
How about you on the news front?
Well, the other big major announcement was, of course, that Infineon is buying the Wolfspeed part of Cree for $850 million, and that's quite a significant acquisition and announcement. It kind of resets the table in a number of cases. The deal is expected to close by year-end. Of course, they have to go through some regulatory approvals. It's really nice for Infineon because the power electronics part of Wolfspeed really complements what Infineon has been doing for some time now. And the RF side really catapults Infineon to a position where they've declared they want to be number 1 in the RF power space by 2020. So it really declares their intent to move out. The other thing that became obvious through this announcement is that Infineon really is committed to not only GaN on silicon carbide, which they get from Wolfspeed, but GaN on silicon, and they want to make a major play there.
Yeah, I thought that was a very interesting development because not a lot of people have talked about that with the exception of MACOM.
Right. So this really puts Infineon in a place that they'll be the only major player that is vertically integrated, that basically has both GaN and LDMOS in the same house. So it's kind of interesting because I think there are a number of implications that we'll have to watch over the coming months. One, and since Infineon's a German company, how is the US government going to respond to them acquiring the GaN technology? which the U.S. government has made a lot of investments in. The other thing is, will Infineon continue to serve as a foundry for some of the other players who are now their competitors or have been their competitors in the base station market?
Yeah, Cree was a big open foundry, as we found in our foundry survey in June.
Right. So then the other thing that I think is interesting is, of course, MACOM has so far been the only really strong advocate for GaN on silicon. Well, now with Infineon declaring their intent, and the lawsuit that MACOM filed against Infineon really starts to be more significant of who's going to have the IP for that RF technology.
Very interesting area to follow.
Yeah, so the coming months are going to be pretty interesting. So that's the news from my side. So how about events?
Yeah, so I'll be heading off to the IEEE EMC show in Ottawa, and the week after that to NI Week in Austin, Texas. So I have a couple upcoming travel plans. And also, ED-ICON USA announced that they sold out the exhibition floor. So
that's great.
We have 138 companies. We had to add another aisle so that we could accommodate some new players. And with conferences all set, registration is open. You can go to ediconusa.com and register.
That's fabulous. I think it's going to be a great conference, and Boston is a great location.
Yeah, the reception's been even bigger than we thought it would be.
Yeah, fabulous. Well, I think that about wraps it up. Why don't we wrap this up and go down and take a swim? Thank you for watching this episode of Frequency Matters, and we want to thank our sponsor, Mini Circuits, for making it possible. You can find out all about Mini Circuits' broad product line at their website, minicircuits.com. Take care, and we'll see you on the next episode.